So welcome back to another episode, and yes, these games rock. They seriously do. I've been away for a little bit of time, and I've been playing all of these games to varying degrees, and I've been having a great time with them. Already, I'm gonna say something outlandish and outrageous that I believe that these games are games of the year. They are that good and that amazing, and I'm gonna talk about all of them today. I will ask you guys, what are you playing? What are some games that you're playing that are brand new that you're shocked by? You can't believe how good they are. Let me know down below. Now, the first game I feel very guilty about. I feel guilty about this game because when it was announced, I saw the trailer and I was like, oh yeah, they're just doing another action game. It doesn't look that great. I don't really care about it. I had a really negative attitude towards this game. I'm being honest. And I was like, okay, Ubisoft is making it. I like the company, but it's just kind of like, oh, kind of samey. I've been there, done that before. Nothing to really get excited about. Where all of my friends have convinced me to play Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. And I've been playing it, and I'm eating my words. I'm eating my words because the game is really good.
Hey, who's having all the fun?
And why it's so good is it's not just some action game. Like I played the original Prince of Persia back in the day, and I liked it. I mean, I remember playing at my friend's PC and enjoying it to varying degrees. I loved the animation back then. And it's come out over the years and different things, and I'm like, yeah, okay, Prince of Persia is pretty cool, but it's just kind of an older game. Where they've taken the original game and put it on steroids, really. The graphical upgrade is really nice. I mean, I originally thought that the graphics were really good in this game, but it's the gameplay. Yes, I'm gonna use the term, it's a Metroidvania in the best sense of the term. It's unbelievable. And I've been playing this game and I've been kind of taken back by it. All of my friends are in love with this game and they're like, you have to play it. So I start playing it and I'm like, okay, I get it. I love the character art, I love the settings, I love the different areas you can go in, I love all the different abilities you have. You have the guard attack. I love the bosses in this game. Everything is working for me in Prince of Persia. And I'm kind of taken back by it. It's the biggest shock for me because I had such a negative outlook on it. And I don't know why I had that, I just did. You know, we always do that, you know. We see a trailer, like, yeah, that looks, you know, that sucks, I don't care about that. And then you come around, you're like, wait a second, this is definitely one for action RPG fans out there. There's a great world to explore. I've been dipping into it, and I absolutely love it. Now, the next game I'm going to talk about is Granblue Fantasy Relink. Right here. What do you guys think of this game? Have you been hyped for it? I have one friend of mine that every week is always showing me the latest trailers going, it's coming out, it's coming out. And I'm like, it's not coming out, it's never coming out. It felt like that. It feels like it's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
But it's finally come out. I popped it in. I didn't play the demo. I know everybody played the demo. I'm like, I want to play the full game. I want to see what this is. I am absolutely blown away. Blown away.
We did it!
It is everything that I want. It's an action RPG. It feels like I'm playing like a brother to the E-series. You know, it's not related in any regard. It's done by completely different companies. But it feels like that kind of action RPG. You know, you got great combination attacks, great enemies, great environments. I could just go on and on about that stuff alone. I really like the characters. I really like how they look.
You can't mess with the best.
I love the textures. I love how they've given it such detail. Really wonderful stuff. And yes, the environments are just so wonderful to explore.
What's this? Nice find.
And I have something else to admit. I'm changing my ways as I've hit 50. Yes, some things are changing. Do you know what it is? Usually, I've always been a Japanese snob. So when I play a game from Japan, I always have subtitles on and the Japanese on. I've always done it that way. But I'm finding with myself now, even with animes I watch on TV, I watch the English. Because you know what? The English dubs nowadays are very, very good. And the English dub in this game is excellent.
You can say that again. Now, back to goofing off.
I was running around, listening to the characters, and I'm like, they're not annoying. They're not like old video games of the past that I grew up with, where the voice acting turned you off. It was like, oh my god, where's my Japanese option?
Hey, Zach! Why must I fight you? We are not enemies!
But some of the big battles are over the top, fighting a dragon on an airship. I was like, this is only the first like 10 minutes of the game and I'm blown away. And I love the storybook look to it. There's a beautiful fantasy look to it that I adore. It's really my thing. And yeah, I'm really in love with this game. It's definitely a game of the year and I can't wait to play a lot more.
And explore where that came from.
Now the next game I'm going to talk about is beautiful and my wife is playing it. She adores it. She's playing it late last night, and that is Persona 3 Reload, a remake of the classic Persona 3. And I have my original copies that I bought on the PlayStation 2. Here's something. 17 years ago, Persona 3 came out. I was in shock when I looked that up the other day. I'm like, where is the time going? And this game has been in development for quite a few years. And yes, there's been a remaster of Persona 3 as well. We played a bit of that, but this is where it's at. And why this game is so amazing is that they've taken that older game and they've updated it. Yes, the graphics, they brought them to Persona 5 levels. And that's only a wonderful thing. And they've enhanced so many other things, streamlined so many options as well, that this game is stupendous to me. It really is. Me and Kim were playing it and we're like, oh my god, we're in heaven. Like, the original game was interesting for me, and I gotta say something. To be honest with you, I was like, at first I didn't get the concept. I was like, okay, so I just, do my day? Like, you have to understand this is 17 years ago. I'm like, oh, I just do my day as a school kid, and then all of a sudden the witching hour basically happens, and then all of a sudden I have to go up this huge tower, but I can only be up there for a certain amount of time, then I gotta come back down. I was like, what? It was such a strange concept. But there was something really, really addicting about getting to every single next level.
Very interesting.
And this game has such a beautiful dub. I just loved listening to the characters talk. And let me say, that's one thing you get with Persona. A lot of characters talking.
What are you talking about?
But the wonderful thing is, if you're like, okay, I just kind of want to get back to the tower and get through some of the dialogue, there is a fast forward button, so you can do that. Me and Kim were listening to it, but we were also at certain times going, okay, we need to get on to the things in this game. We need to get back to the combat. So yes, if some of the dialogue wears you down, you can just fast forward through some of the dialogue. But again, I just have to say my piece here, that I stood there watching the game as Kim was playing it, and I'm like, this is absolutely phenomenal looking. And I think I'm just so happy to be playing a Persona game again, and especially one that is so nostalgic, and especially some of that music. Oh my god, I was actually, when the game was first announced, I went back and listened to all the Persona 3 music, and yes, I got a little nostalgic. And I said to Kim last night, I said, what do you think of the music? She's like, this music is really, really good. So if you've never played Persona 3, this is the perfect place to jump in. I think you'll be really taken back. Yes, you're kind of doing rinse and repeat the same thing over and over, but once you get it, and if you get it, you get it, right? And it becomes very, very addicting, and you just want to keep on getting higher into that tower. So I was away for about 3 weeks, and I brought my PS5 with me, and I tried to find this game at every single GameStop, every single Walmart in my local area. And guess what? It was sold out. It was sold out everywhere, so I had to order online. It finally arrived, so I could start playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Now, of course, I'm gonna say amazing things about this game because it deserves to have amazing things said about it. I love this series and I think it's really incredible. I love the cast of characters. They are so comical and funny.
When did you become such a charmer?
But yet, there's a seriousness with it and there's a smartness to this game. But yes, there's a lot of quirky things in this game.
Exactly right. Now we're planning a date.
And what I love the most, I love the RPG combat of this game. I love it. You know, running around has always reminded me of Shenmue. It always has given me that vibe, and I've always appreciated that. but I love it, stopping in the street, and all of a sudden you just get into a brawl, and you're kicking the crap out of these guys, and doing special moves. But yeah, I really feel at home with this style of game. I mean, I'm so happy that Sega has backed this series over the years and seen it flourish. I mean, I feel like we're getting a game every year or so, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, following these cast of characters from the last game into this game and seeing what they're up to now, it feels like old friends, and it feels really comforting, as I say. And one of the things I've always loved, I loved doing it in, the old Shenmue series, I love doing it in this series, I love going into convenience stores, and I just love looking around at the different drinks and magazines in the convenience stores. I love that. And yes, harkening back to the old Shenmue days, going into arcades in this game is so awesome. I mean, I felt like I was living my early 2000s again, going into an arcade and playing Spike Out. A great old arcade game. I love that game. I always thought it was so fun. It's so interesting to see it now with the terrible camera moves and things. I'm like, wow, we've come a long way with video games. That is for sure. I must admit, Like a Dragon has a bit of a slow start to it, but once you get into things, it really, really rocks. So what do you guys think of some of the games that I picked today to talk about? I absolutely love these games so very, very much. And Persona 3, unbelievable. Look at the start to this year, guys. Look at the start to this year. And we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of video games. I'm barely hanging on, but I'm loving the journey. I'm loving the fun of playing these amazing games. What are some games for you that you're playing that are brand new? I'm actually asking for brand new games that are totally blowing you away. Like Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Unbelievable stuff. Really, I mean, I've really been having a great time playing these games. Let me know what your picks are down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.